everybody? We're back. We're back. To talk about American Horror Story double feature, episode 9, right? Titled Blue Moon. So we were supposed to come on yesterday, but we didn't. So we're here today on Sunday. Surprise. So guys, did y'all all watch this on the when it aired, or did y'all watch it like the next day?
So I watched it when it aired and fell asleep before it was over, and then I watched it the next day.
Sounds about right.
I watched it that day, and then I kind of forgot a lot of what happened, and then watched it today.
I only watched it, I think, yesterday or the day before. Like it was like right at the weekend starting.
Okay. Yeah, I watched it on Wednesday when it aired, and then I watched it again today just to have a little refresher. And I don't know. This is the episode before the last, because next week, well, this week is actually the last episode. So that's crazy. That's wild. So thoughts. What are your thoughts on? I'm going to say the first half of this episode, because we got the black and white part, and then we have the present day part. So we're going to do the black and white portion first. What do you guys think about that part of this episode?
Always better than the modern part. We got more information. We learned that they apparently had cell phones well before we thought they did.
Mm-hmm.
They gave them new technology. Mammy's doing her thing. We meet a new character. Is that man's name?
Which one?
The alien that popped up.
Ben, I don't know his.
You're talking about Valiant Thor.
There we go.
Okay.
I
don't know that name.
I don't know that name.
You know what? I Googled it though, Mike. It turns out like he's been written about before. The first time he was written about was like in '69.
Really?
Yeah. Like a bunch of conspiracy theorists believe that he exists, and like in a similar capacity to what he was shown in the show. So that's creepy.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned him last week. I don't know if it was Art or somebody else, but somebody mentioned him last week before we were even before we was even introduced to this character. So
nice.
I want to know who it was. Art, let me know if it was you. Art says, I can't believe the season finale is this week, and now that Halloween Kills is out, what else do I do except sit by the pool and watch horror movies while my pool boy missed me with it?
First of all, Art, that is a glamorous setup.
Yes, you have a pool boy?
Right.
Hold up.
Right, can I come over?
Right.
How much you paying? I'll be a pool boy.
Right. I'll be a pool boy if I'm allowed to wear clothes that cover from neck to ankle. That's all.
Let me tell you something. I'm giving all this extra jelly, so come on.
I hear that.
I always have visitors.
Hey.
Who that? That's Nora? Nora?
No, please get out. No, you cannot.
Listen while Chanise be a mother.
I'm sorry, guys. I feel so unprofessional, but
the babies are so cute, though.
I know.
I like this this black and white portion though. Like I thought it was cool.
I do.
Yeah.
It really still confuses me when they keep jumping back and forth with the whole president thing. Because I'm like, wait a second. Like, who is still the like, what's going on? And then remember when they went to Area 51, like toward the end of it or whatever, and he said, "Hi, Mr. President," but not to the guy with the white hair. To the guy with the cowboy hat. So then I really got confused. Because I'm like, well, wait, like they're not telling me when they switching, so I don't know.
Yeah, me too. Like they just go for it, and I'm just like, wait, he's not the president. The other dude's the president, but I'm like, oh shit, they need to let us know when they switch, because I get confused as well. Definitely,
I get confused too, y'all. Like because didn't y'all remember? Well, no, I obviously misremembered because he was alive in this episode. But I thought that they kind of said that JFK got assassinated already.
They did. Remember when Mammy and him was sitting down? The Eisenhowers were sitting there watching
Yeah.
TV.
Yes.
So I think they've
So,
been like doing different time jumps. So sometimes they jump a little bit into the future. Sometimes, so they went past or where his assassination was, and this time it was obviously when he was still alive. But they aren't being consistent with it. But
yeah,
it's when you jump within a slice like that, maybe that's what makes it feel confusing because you're already jumping when you're going from the black and white to the color.
Exactly. That's why it's all over the place to me. Just because it's just like you're already doing, like you said, Ryan, black and white to color, but now you're still jumping within that time period with the black and white portion, and it's just like I can't keep up. My brain is getting old, so
it's too much. Like I feel like that's even frowned upon. Like head jumping. Like when you think about like creating things, like how can your audience like connect properly to a character if you're jumping too much? It's too much.
Right. Because I just in my head I just say Eisenhower is just the president. Like I don't even care what nobody say. And I just keep thinking like, well, damn, did they have longer terms back in the day? Or like what's going on? Like, do they keep them around? And then that other guy say, like the tall guy with the black hair, he said something about him being running for president again.
Like, it was like not Nixon, right? Not Nixon.
Is that him? The one that Mammy had told last episode about the alien situation. Remember she gave him the file last episode?
Okay.
Yeah, so I think he ran against Kennedy.
Okay.
So that's what they were talking about. It would have made more sense to me if they did the Marilyn Monroe shit last episode.
Yes.
And the assassination this episode.
Right.
So they have to do like jumping back and forth like that to make it make a little bit more sense or go in order at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darkwave said, hey y'all, no, I didn't watch this episode. My enthusiasm has gone down, but I still try to keep up and watch your reviews. I like your alien talk more than the episode was down. But thank you. Art says, watch the season finale. Yeah. And Art also said, are you guys upset that this part 2 is so short? I was surprised. Not really. Like, I'm okay with it being sort of short because I mean, I like obviously we all like the black and white part of the alien storyline. But I'm not really that invested into it for it to be longer than what they're giving us, you know? So
yeah,
I agree, but I think Omar has said like he's not really enthused about it, like his enthusiasm went down, and that's the same for me. Like I watch it, but it's like I don't care if I catch it on Wednesday type of thing.
Yeah,
I just it's a like I like the black and white part better than the the modern part, but I just really don't care for this section. Like I don't know why I thought it would be just something. I don't know. I
was actually hyped for the alien part. I was just
I was too.
But now that we're like how many episodes in? Like 3 episodes in, I'm just like
And then like it really gets me when it's like, okay, well this is like the last episode is coming up. So
yeah.
I mean, I guess we know the purpose of why the aliens came. We know when the aliens came. We know how they got their little situation. Like, I mean, I guess we know the information. So,
right.
I feel like y'all, like, I don't know why, but I do feel like my enthusiasm is waning a lot too, which really sucks because Red Tide was pretty damn good. I mean, I wouldn't say like Red Tide was the perfect season by any stretch of the imagination, but it was far superior to this one. So as a result, it just makes the season as a whole, double features, feel like it's pitching.
Yeah,
as always.
That's the norm, and I don't like that it's the norm.
Nor do I.
I think it's because we're expecting them already to drop the ball the last episode.
It could be because that Red Tide, like that finale, really made me be like, well, I don't really, like I already wasn't that enthusiastic for this part, and when I watched it, I'm like, okay, at first with that whole black and white part, and it gave me a little, but then for some reason, the modern part, after they got pregnant, just gave me some type of like, I don't know if this is the proper word, but like a commercial feeling. Like, I don't know. Like, it was too, it's just weird. But it just gave me a feeling where I don't really.
Is it like super cheesy to you?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
That's it. I think
because I feel the same way. I feel like it's super cheesy, like that part. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still curious on like how they're gonna get out of this, if they do even get out of it at all. But a lot of it is just, I don't know. A lot of it is just cheesy to me, and I'm just like, all right, we just need to get over this. Like, I just want the finale. I just want this to be done.
I do like, guys, though, how they touch on real life subjects, though, like things that are kind of like mysteries, when they like, oh, Neil Armstrong went to the moon, but really they faked it, because I heard of that stuff before, but I like how they touch on those type of things. Or like when they bring in Area 51, like that's how Area 51 was, like brought up and things like that. So I do like that part of it. How they put that stuff in there.
Historical stuff with the fiction. I love that.
Yeah.
I do, because I mean, I get with the promo and what's happening, I kind of feel like I know where it's going. Like, one of the two girls is going to have the perfect hybrid, because they're the only ones who haven't given birth yet.
Right.
And it was like, we predict that the perfect hybrid will be around 2021. So my crazy ass was like, ooh, this is it isn't Harry's baby from the first part, it's an alien baby. And that's to the beginning of this season. But now I'm like, no, it's probably just one of theirs.
Yeah, definitely. Because so in the second part, was the baby, I don't know, I didn't really learn none of their names or nothing. So the guy with the blonde hair, when his baby was getting out or whatever, did it have legs or was it tentacles?
It was tentacles.
Okay, because I thought it was legs and then it turned into tentacles. But the guy with the black hair baby had legs though. Like,
yeah,
okay,
it is some variance, because whose baby? I think it was what's the girl's name? Calico. Her baby, like the first one that they like flashed, hers had looked a long tendril.
Oh yeah. And that was in like the 69 or something like that when she first got caught up.
Did y'all get vibes from Men in Black when you saw the baby with the tentacles?
Yes. I'm still mad they didn't pull out the.
Yeah, me too. I was still waiting for that.
They should have done
that. Let's see. B Fit said you can't cover a season of Aliens in 4 episodes.
You can't.
Agree.
Yeah.
Aliens is such like a wide range topic, and there's so much that you can do with that. It's like, first of all, I hated how they had the alien attack Marilyn Monroe, because they gave you this like standard alien, and throughout the whole show, the aliens ain't look nothing like that. So why all of a sudden now? So I was thinking, like, did the alien dress like, did somebody dress up like that? Because then the men came out and did something to her or whatever. So what was happening there? Like, was it really an alien, or was it just the government getting her out of here?
No.
I think like when it comes to the Marilyn Monroe story too, I had to Google, because like I didn't know that there was like an existing theory that she did know too much. I mean, well, I knew that like there was this controversy. Was she really, murdered? Because like my father used to talk to me about that, like growing up and stuff. But I didn't know it had anything to do with, whether she knew information about Area 51 or like aliens and stuff. And some people really believe that. And I'll give this season credit for this. I'll say, and like y'all were touching on it early with kind of like marrying like these real world situations with fiction. I really like that when they do that, they're still also kind of pulling in a lot of these really prevalent conspiracy theories amongst people who do believe in aliens, that there is something going on. It's fascinating. That I think that's why the black and white perseveres for me, and why like the color is cool, but it's like we're living in today's society, so I don't feel as impacted when he opens up the suitcase and there's like some form of an iPhone in it. I don't feel as moved by that because you wasted 5 to 10 minutes to do that when that's already been heavily implied this whole season. Like the pacing is just broken. Same difference with like Marilyn Monroe's odd testimony last episode about and I mean the episode before this one that we're talking about the teddy bear potentially being an alien. That was wasted because she ended up being killed this episode and there was no follow through. Like edit, and literally get us to the pieces that are integral to the storyline. Like y'all could have landed this plane a lot cleaner. And with all of these loose threads, stuff like the teddy bear that I'm complaining about, and the other thing that I complained about that I just forgot about, y'all could have sucked that stuff out and gave us more real world ties to what we're all here for, the aliens that are in the asylum. I feel like pull out the stuff that we don't need and give us the asylum tie through.
I know,
Bob. That's all I wanted. Look, y'all have to agree. Like y'all can't. All right, I'm getting hyped now. Now I'm waking up. Y'all.
Yes.
No, for real though. Like y'all can't give us another season of aliens and don't tie it into Asylum. Like that's pissing me off.
Yeah.
Like now you're teasing us because you know that's what everybody wanted, and now we getting aliens and still no Asylum. So they're getting on my nerves.
I feel like they do that though. Like it's always the episode always got questions that's left unanswered.
Right.
And that was a big thing. Like I really, really think that if they weren't gonna like go somewhere with the aliens, they should have been left out of the Asylum season, because it literally was that one episode when they first got Kit. And you seen the aliens come and take his girl, and then the end. Throughout that whole time, you didn't hear nothing about no aliens. Like they didn't, like it just was like maybe they should have had like the government come in and get Kid, like, the FBI going to take him from the asylum, like something like, like I don't know, like they just put that in there for no reason. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I'm having hope if Asylum don't connect to this episode.
Do you have a weapon? Are you really?
Yes, I'm gonna set this bitch on fire. I'm going to be pissed. I don't want to see anything about American Horror Story for another 2 years.
Amen.
Because it's just like you have an opportunity, and this would be a missed opportunity to give us like something cool that ties into season 2. Because I don't know, there's a lot of I don't know. I think they should just do a double feature. When they said double feature, give us a whole season of Red Tide, 10 episodes of Red Tide, because that was a damn good season. I love Red Tide. They could have went so many different directions if that was a complete season. And then this season, is it what is it called? Something Dawn? Death Valley. I keep saying Dawn. Death Valley. They could have made this, or maybe the whole black and white portion the whole season.
I would have loved that though if they did the whole black and white portion of the season without the whole.
Give us back-to-back seasons, because they were off for a whole entire year, so they could have gave us back-to-back seasons. Because
they could have even gave us 2 episodes a night, right? That's what I was saying. Like if it was 2 episodes a night for 5 weeks each, then we would have still got our 10 like they did with Red Tide. They had the 2 episodes. And I thought that was a nice treat to be like, okay, next episode coming on next. I was hyped.
Yeah.
It feels like, and I don't know if y'all get this vibe after so many seasons of American Horror Story. It feels like they treat it like a sin to give us tie-throughs into the other seasons. Like we get it randomly. Like every once in a while, you see that tie-through between the season. And then on top of that, they do a really bad job of just following through on the threads that would actually be exciting for the people who've been here from the beginning.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they can like it feels like the writers aren't in the same room. Like like for this season, like it feels like the people who wrote Red Tide were not in the same writers' room as the people who were writing this particular. Because what is it called, Death Valley? Like it doesn't even feel like they were in the same room, and that's a problem to me because the black and white portion of this is so good, like y'all already said, that if they wanted to have like some real world characters who were present day, you really could have done away with the segregation between Red Tide and Death Valley. You could have pulled the modern day characters and moved them into what we understand to be Red Tide. And then you could have shown the black and white things for the rest of the season to kind of fill out like all of these weird Easter eggs. Like there's too many splits, and like you can destruct mankind without an iPhone. You can destruct mankind with the black pill. So that's a clean marry through that would have been very pleasing. And then when you look at the aliens, you could have got the tie through from Asylum.
Yep.
Child. That'd be too much.
It's frustrating.
We're annoying, and this is not even the finale. We acting like this is the finale. This is all we're going to get.
And I'm still kind of pissed off that the chemist wasn't in there because
I just about me letting shit go.
Let it go. I'm not letting it go because I really felt like it would have been a good idea for them to maybe bring up her in on their team because she was a top chemist that worked with the government and she could have helped them perfect their their little hybrid babies or something maybe give the people that's pregnant this prenatal, you know what I mean, and this will help your hybrid, I don't know, like it I wanted it to be tied in some way, even if it would have been like Harry's book that he wrote or whatever his show. Even if that was the way that it got tied in there.
That's what I thought. That was my theory. Remember, I thought like Harry's book was going to be like the alien part of the season.
Like they didn't tie it in at all, not one bit.
One more episode,
please. We're done for. We're done for.
Right. We got one more episode. Well, the season finale, and that's only gonna be like 40 minutes. They're gonna rush everything, and then we have to wait until next year.
You know what they could have did? They could have honestly ended the episode. Ended the season with this episode if they would have used their time wisely, because a lot of this like back and forth stuff between the two guys at the end, that was wasted space.
They had emotional ties to their children.
All of a sudden.
Oh my goodness. That's what I want to say.
Oh yeah.
That was strange. Omar, I just seen he said I'm obsessed with the camera. Please. And then Nee said something too, where she said that Nixon said something about Hollywood burning down, and that's what happened in Red Tide. I don't know, that's something small, but maybe if that's a tie, I'll even be happy with that if that was a tie.
but what frustrates me with that is like, okay, it burned down at the end of Red Tide. The world also ended at the end of American Horror Stories, the movie one, and the world also ended at the end of Apocalypse. Like, girl, I understand. I mean, I understand they reversed the time and all that stuff, but it gets sloppy at a point. I don't want time travel. I want you to tie all these really cool seasons together. Right?
Yeah.
And,
why is it so hard for them to do that? Like, I don't get it. Give us what the fuck we want. And it's just, y'all introduce us to cool things. And it's, again, y'all don't tie into seasons correctly, except for Apocalypse. But then I still was a little wonky with the whole time travel thing. Yeah. But I guess it was cool. Because you have to save Queenie and all of them. So whatever. But I don't know. I understand why people is frustrated with American Horror Story and they don't just watch it anymore. But like we discussed, I'm a big fan, so I feel like I'm going to watch every season.
Right.
And I have to complete it. It's just, I don't know. I'm begging a different show to take up my time so I can kind of put American Horror Story on the back burner.
Right.
Because they're going to keep disappointing me, like, and it's, us. It sucks.
Even with Apocalypse, even like that was like one of my favorite, like my top seasons. Even with that, the ends of it bothered me. Like I hate the way Michael got killed because he was supposed to have some type of power even at that age.
Yeah.
And I did not like that random witch was the Supreme all of a sudden. Like,
what's her name? Mallory.
Yeah, that character, like that character, just does not fit her to me. Like, I don't know, like this nice little, because she was the nice little sweet witch that, oh, you're the strongest because you can. I don't know.
Because you're the only one left. You the strongest.
Basically, right? Because everybody else did. But I just didn't like. I don't know. I didn't like that. The ending.
Bring back the true Supreme.
Can I say something about that season too? Like, and I won't hover because I know we have like a lot to get through with this, but Apocalypse proves why they should do more tie-throughs to previous seasons. Because I'm someone personally who was not a huge fan of Coven, but when I watched Apocalypse, it made me love retroactively Coven. It did, because the things that I liked about Coven were really by them marrying a previous season so heavily, you get a characterization of like really bomb-ass characters who you love, and you get to see them dealing with something as like kind of like superheroes, like an MCU universe type shit, because they're literally stopping the end of the world. And even the casting for the Antichrist was bomb. Like, y'all could have something like this. Like, this season could have been like that. It could have been something where you have this new concept, but it's interacting with the aliens from Asylum. And I feel like that was an amazing season.
Yes, that would have been dope.
Yeah.
I would have loved
They always shot the ball. And Brooke, they killed the Antichrist by running him over. It really did feel like a shame. Like, I was upset.
But y'all laughed though, right? That part was entertaining, right?
I gave the biggest eye roll. I'm like,
over the car?
I was dead.
But
it felt like scary movie.
He's the Antichrist. Why
bye, Ryan. I'm checking out.
You're right though, Chanise. Let me stop. Like, you're I'm just caught up in the scary movie. Like,
because now that's all I'm picturing is that part in Scary Movie. I can't even picture Michael anymore.
Messed it all up. Damn.
But yeah, that was and I really liked Coven, but I liked how they put the warlocks. Like, if they would have just had a season with like the warlocks and even just a couple cameos from the witches or whatever, I think that would have been like really dope too, because that brought just like a fresh little sense of it. Or they could have even had something where like the warlocks ended up working with the witches at the end to try to get Michael out of here. Did they do that? They did that. Did they work with them at the end? Or
I mean,
yeah. But that was my concept for like another Coven. I said another season of Coven. If they was to go back and do another season of Coven, I want them to focus on the warlocks, because they were dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I want them to focus on that. And like you said, Chanise, maybe tie in the old Coven crew, like Sarah Paulson and
but mainly her, because y'all know they say the witches are stronger than the warlocks, so maybe she the Supreme and she got to still oversee all this shit. You know what I mean? So it would,
and that would be dope, because you have a woman in charge and ruling everything. So
but then you get that male aspect. So but they don't listen to us. What do we know?
They introduced an awesome concept, and they just like, all right. I don't think anybody ever asked for like a warlock season. I don't think anybody did.
It would be dope. I think they should do it.
Yeah, I mean, Billy Porter gave us our lives. He was great. Cheyenne Jackson, pretty much like everybody that was on that season of Apocalypse, as far as the warlock portion, like it was great. It was awesome to see.
Wait, Cheyenne Jackson, is that the one that got burnt at the gas station?
Yeah.
I will.
Kathy Bates got
him. I love him, especially in there.
He's so good looking. He's so good looking.
And it's just something about like, I guess he got like dark eyeliner or whatever. Just his look in that season, I was like, oh my god, like that's. I can't cheat on Evan Peters, but
don't do it.
That's what American Horror Stories could have been. They could have had like a warlock, and then they could have had an aliens thing, and then they could have had. They could have like used that as an opportunity to fill in these pockets of space between the seasons.
Yeah.
And then still keep Wall, obviously, and keep, I don't remember the name of the one with the drive-through theater or whatever, but like keep those two and then use the rest of the space to fill in the space between the seasons.
Yeah, they could have did that. Did y'all find it weird that they had the boy had a connection to the baby?
At first, I did, because I was just like, why is he connected to this baby all of a sudden? Like, he was spazzing out not too long ago. Now, all of a sudden, when he gave birth, so I'm not too sure if the aliens did something to him after he gave birth in order for. Why are you laughing? Right?
It sounds like that's what it is.
Because it's just like, what else could it be? You know what I mean?
It was, first of all, it was so dramatic. I kept getting mad when he just kept. And I feel like such a bitch for laughing at him while he was crying. I just wanted him to shut up so bad. Like, first of all, you was spazzing out this whole time. Now all of a sudden you got a connection to this thing and you want to take it. You know it's an alien, my guy. Like, what are you going to do with this thing? Like, to the point where his boyfriend got convinced to let him cut it out of him. Like, y'all doing too much.
It made no sense.
They took it way more seriously than I thought they were going to. Like, I thought it was going to be comedic the whole time, but they like seemed to commit to like, okay, we're going to have the guys go through this emotional turmoil with having these babies. And
I'm not here for it.
C-sections. And, and then the baby, I don't like anything with tentacles. So
me too.
And you know,
I knew that window. Like, I knew, like, once that baby came out, that it was gonna, like, something bad was gonna happen. Because I mean, come on, it's the whole reason why these aliens are destroying these babies right after they get birth. Because at first I was wondering, I'm like, why the fuck they keep, like, what's the purpose? Like, what's the point in having these humans and then impregnating them and then having them give birth and then killing the babies and then you're doing it all over again? So I guess they're trying to get the right specimen or something. But it's just like, how do they even know if it's like the baby's corrupted or not? Like, when
I think the whole idea is the physical aspect. That's what the lady said. They was like, oh, this one is like close to like perfect, basically, except for the physical aspect. And I believe she was talking about the eyes.
The eyes, okay. So they want a human-like baby, but obviously it's like an alien, but they want it to look human.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
That's brilliant. I didn't catch that because I was like, what is their version of like the perfect specimen? I was trying to figure that out too. Like, what are they trying to attain from this? But that's brilliant because if it does look like it, if they're trying to get something that looks like a human but is a hybrid, then why do they want that?
Exactly.
That's scary. That's actually where the horror is.
And I'm like, you want to take over the planet because they said we want something that can, a little of both of us that can survive on this planet. So I'm like, you try to take over, but playing the long game. And you want the perfect hybrid of both. And then whether we agree to do it or not, it's going to end up with this result anyway.
Right. That connection to that baby may hum a little off, but in their right mind decides they're going to cut out a baby with no anesthesia, no disinfectant. That was a wild decision. True.
It really was. Like, that got y'all don't even understand how, first of all, I was laughing and how bad it got on my nerves. Because I was like, yo, if he don't stop crying. When he got to the table, and then he cried some more, and they all hugged him. Like, I would have been there for like, bitch, shut the fuck up. That was just the alien. We need to be thinking about getting out of here, and you crying over this baby.
Okay,
first of all,
real
this
quick.
Alien, not even a real baby.
All right, Ryan, remember you sent me that TikTok when you said Pisces sign, and then the Earth sign is that's a lie. Because look at Chanise, she's a water sign.
Because the TikTok I sent, it was like literally a water sign, like crying to a supposed Earth sign, and the Earth sign was like, "Listen, motherfuckers get killed every day. Like, it's nothing. Like,
you good, my nigga? You good?
Right?
That's not me.
You haven't. I mean, We'll talk after. That's the whole thing because we're going to a whole tangent, but. I will say, I like that there is the body horror of cutting the baby out because y'all said it last episode. Like, their technology is not advanced enough for them to just kind of like get the situation under control. And they showcase that. They did something where they put him in a state of mind where he can calm down, and they cut it out of him. They could have stayed on that track. It's not even sensical that he would allow someone to cut him without anesthesia and all this other stuff. And you can't staunch the bleeding. You're about to bleed out probably, like if this were real life. It was just so too fantastical. It didn't add. It didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
He definitely would have bled to death.
Exactly.
So Random said 1984 was the theme for now. So this is the 90s and Red Tide is the 2000s because I think Elijah is the hybrid because he said 2021. I'm confused.
So basically they trying to say that they think that the tie-in to Red Tide is going to be Elijah.
Is that the baby?
Okay.
Yeah, basically saying because he said 2021.
Yeah.
Wait, but I don't remember Elijah. That's the part that threw me off. Which one is Elijah?
No, from Red Tide, the baby.
The baby. Doris baby. Doris and Harry baby.
Okay.
The one that
was
took at the end. Yeah.
We don't know it's Harry's baby. We just assumed it was his baby.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, they did put emphasis on how she kept losing babies too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lyme disease? No, let me stop.
They need a follow through for that. I mean, I feel like they, like y'all said though, like 2 episodes ago, it made sense when the girl was like allergic to sperm or whatever, because I think that's also a hint. Mm-hmm. I think that's a hint that there's going to be some tie-in that maybe her baby is. I don't know. There's a lot. There's so
alien.
They make that real like they make that like real prominent that you know because why would they talk about that her skin like burnt when the dude like came on her? So that's why I said I think she's an alien. I said that before.
Yeah.
And different types of aliens. You could still get everything you want. These just maybe just a different species.
That's true. Because why was she the only one outside the car?
That too.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
I said that too. Y'all all side-eyed me.
All right, give me your credit.
I agree with you because it is strange that she's outside the car, and it's strange that she was allergic to semen, and
it's strange she's the only black one.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
No, I mean no, for real though, because
I'm joking.
The commonalities, I think that's something to it. To be honest, because wasn't the one that in Asylum the girl who had she was of color, right?
Yeah. Yes. Kit's first girlfriend, I believe.
Yeah. But if she the daughter?
Oh, the juice.
I said that too.
I know you did. You said,
I cannot.
Listen. I want so bad for Robert's theory to come true for him. Okay,
Bobby, hello.
So bad. I want this to be true for him. So I'm gonna just try to manifest it and
do it. You know what? If we can pull off the section to it this week, if y'all down, if we can I'm gonna still try to figure out how to do this. And if my theory comes true, I promise I'm gonna scream really loud. Y'all all owe me $1.
Not $1. Because what are you gonna do with that?
Is this pay week? Hold on. Let me see.
Okay.
I could ask for more. I was just trying to be generous. I said $1. I could say 20.
I'm down. I am down.
I'm joking. The black girl's reaction to everything has been off this entire time.
That's true. Because when they was mentioning the aliens, she kept trying to stir away from there, like, aliens, like y'all crazy.
She also was pregnant before. I don't remember if she said she had a miscarriage or she got rid of it at 19.
Oh yeah.
So
the way these shows be playing us, how much y'all want to bet we're gonna be having fun just concocting all this and it's gonna be no follow through?
It's nothing at all.
It's
something far left.
It's fun though. I like coming up with theories, even though they disappoint every time. But
yeah. Art said after AHS is over, what show do you guys want to tackle next?
Can I say it? Can I say it, Bobby?
Go ahead.
You're gonna smack me later, but it's worth it. We should watch Buffy. We should talk about Buffy. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yes.
I would be willing to come out and like do that.
The old one that got 8,500 episodes.
I was going to say that. That's all. Like,
it flies by when you're having fun with your friends.
You could do that. You could break it. You could do a few episodes on an episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe a season on an episode.
I would like.
Oh, if you did do it by season, like you're saying, Mike, then it would only be like 7 episodes.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that. We could get through it like that. I mean, I love Buffy, so we can.
Yeah, I only ever watched it sporadically. Like I've never watched it all together.
I said the same. I had reasons.
Except for the modern one. No, wait. That's what it was, right?
Which one you talking about? You talking about the
No, it wasn't. Never mind. I'm lying. That's not even the same thing.
Are you talking about Charm?
No, I was talking about Sabrina.
Oh,
no. That would have been cool. That would have been cool to cover though. Sabrina, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
That shit is so good, and the representation is bomb because of Ambrose. He's a great character.
Oh my goodness, yes, I love that. I was so upset that they canceled it.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. Is the comic still going? Do y'all know if the comic is still going?
I have no clue.
Chucky would be cool too.
Dark Omar said, "Do the Chucky series."
Ooh,
I just like Chucky.
Yes.
But I'll watch.
Denise, you gotta watch. Did you watch?
To talk to y'all, but I don't like Chucky. He's my least favorite, like scary person.
You might like him on the show though.
Really?
Yeah. The way he read the hell out that whole auditorium.
Yes, it was good.
All right, I'm gonna watch.
It was good. Don't look at it as like a scary thing, Chanise. I don't think at this point Chucky's meant to be scary. Right now, I think he's just like this big. He was once scary, but now he's just this pop culture icon that everybody just like to laugh at and have a good time with, and that's it. That's how I look at Chucky. I don't think he's scary.
Personality of any of them, I think, of the like main horror icons.
Yeah.
And by the way, I have good news, y'all. They're still continuing the comic, even though they canceled the show.
Oh,
so,
really?
Nice.
Yeah, that's good news because then we can get more. I mean, that's what they did with Charmed and they did with Buffy, though. Like the Charmed and Buffy are still going on; they never ended. It's just the canon is now in comic, and Hellraiser too. Hellraiser.
I still gotta read Hellraiser.
Have y'all watched any of the new Charmed?
Yeah, you do got to get Mark. You're right, Mike, because like Mark knows like his Buffy stuff like.
Mark knows everything like crazy.
Yeah.
That man again, it's no shade, but that's why I do say when you like that man holds so much like data. And, how you doing? That man holds so much like data in his head. I don't know how the fuck he does it. Like if there's shows I have to rewatch to like remember, but he probably not see the show for what over 10 years and still remember everything.
Yeah,
it's wild.
It's completely so watching it like at 12. Like, granted, I'm like a middle-aged man now, so watching Buffy now, it's very different. Like characters that I liked then, I may not like now. I may view certain scenarios very differently. I think that'd be a good time.
Yeah,
it's definitely a big Buffy fan all over. So
yeah, I missed that train. Again, I watched it. Sporadic, like how Chanise said back in the day when it was on. Like I see bits and pieces of it, but I was just always salty because I'm like, that's not Kirsty Swanson. That's not my Buffy. But now Kirsty Swanson is canceled. So
yeah,
she's a Trump supporter. So
what a shame.
But I still love. Okay, I do still love the movie. I love her heaving breasts at the end, the sweaty in the dress
with the black leather jacket.
Yes,
and that bun, that tight bun.
Yeah.
Omar, my first childhood nightmare was Freddy. And Freddy is still the scariest one to me, like out of all like Michael Myers, Jason, like Freddy is the scariest one to me because like you legit need sleep and that's where he is. And if you stay awake, you will very much die too. It's no way around Freddy. Like he still scares me.
He's inevitable. You're right.
Yeah. Real quick, so random said came to about Valiant Thor did too. So yeah, it was so random that said it. I remember last week that they said it, and I was just like, all right, I don't know what they're talking about. But then when I seen the name that pop up on this episode, I was like, oh shit, somebody said it in the chat.
So Valiant Thor said he's a liaison. So does that mean of all the different races of beings and species, or just for this
one?
It must be just that one, because you see how his eyes was right when he was getting in there with Mammy.
Oh yes, and she was all right. We didn't even talk about that, y'all.
Oh, let me get ready.
First of all, why she was so serious?
Because it was serious dick.
On top. No.
Amen.
Why she had to look at her husband? Like, she seriously was like,
look, you walked in.
like she like, wait, what?
Not with the hand whip. She was
like, what is going on? Like, I just was so confused.
And
like,
didn't give a fuck either. He woke up. No, it wasn't a nightmare.
Yeah, right. She's like, yeah, it was real. Seeing what you see.
Yes, I gave one. I did it for the team.
Yeah.
He really knows the way around a woman's anatomy. Like she was rubbing it in his face.
No. She said that he wanted to learn his way around the woman's anatomy.
Oh.
Well,
yeah. That's why she was saying she took one for the team.
He gonna learn tonight, huh?
Right. Well, he did.
And he couldn't say shit because apparently
but like, so do they have penises?
Yeah.
I wonder, like, what it look like? Like you guys.
Like, yeah, I want to see.
Yeah. Does it look like an actual penis, or is it like weird? Like, is it an alien type of penis?
Look at. Oh no, that. Okay, let me stop. But I mean, there's dildos online right now for the penis off of The Shape of Water. Yeah.
No.
And there's monster dildos that does exist, like fantasy dildos. Like,
oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, and The Shape of Water sold out. Like when it first came out, like the girls were like, "Give me that."
Are you?
I don't know. Some of them toys, y'all, is like.
I believe it. Look, y'all, at my job, I'm not telling y'all in the chat where I work, but at my job, I see some shit. So they have actual like pieces, and then on the part that's supposed to tickle a certain part of the women's, area, it's shaped. They got animals. One is shaped like a dolphin, one is shaped like a rabbit, one is shaped like a squirrel. And I'm just like,
Michael.
Why? And I see Michael like. Like, I get the rabbit part because the ears, yeah. I guess who's that goes like, but like, but I don't get the dolphin part because the dolphin part looks like it would be painful because it literally got like the dolphin. There's the long beak, and then it got the fin, and then it got the other fin on the side.
Hair in it was called this blowhole, whatever that thing is called.
Which thing?
Don't the dolphins have like a hole at the top of their head?
Oh, the blowhole.
Yeah.
They use that, or so, I don't know.
Omar, so are you serious? Yes, we are.
But I mean, I don't know. Dolphins in real life will try to freak you, right?
Yeah.
That's a true thing, right?
Rapists. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Stay away. They're horny creatures.
Ew, I would be devastated if, like, on vacation, a dolphin got me.
Look, you rather be attacked or got that way.
No, I don't want to get got by
drown and rape me at the same time.
Yes, like
that ain't
it. You're about to make me spit out my water.
But people are buying fish dick shape of water dildo. That movie, I was not expecting that. My roommate had me watch that movie. I was so mad at him. I was like, he got me watching this bestiality shit, and it's being like presented in a very artistic way, so I have to like it. But she never.
I'm gonna pull it up for after this. I won't show it now, but
yeah, throw it in. If you can send it through the private.
Oh, I got you.
Mm-hmm. If you can.
You know I can.
How bad?
Well, that scene was crazy with them two getting it in. So that was very interesting.
And he just was like, oh.
Wait a minute, Bobby.
Yo.
I started Googling it. Why the top article that comes up is Guillermo del Toro has seen the shape of water dildo, and he says the following: "It is not accurate." I'm done. I am done.
What does that mean? So he's saying like it's not as
what the genitalia would look like.
He said, "If y'all get that shit on my face, when I made it, it looked like this," and he pulls out like a.
You know what? I need to see this. Please.
I'm gonna send the article because it actually does have the actual dildo in it, so you guys can see it, and you can see the shady article. Person put Guillermo del Toro like this, knowing damn well he not talking about that right there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Come on, love toys conversation.
Well, guys, before we get into this, what are y'all expectations for the next? This next episode.
Oh, they got you.
Right. They got you.
She gonna come back with the white eyes and floating in the air.
Shut up.
Yo, if that happened, I will be contacting your mother, Chanise, right away.
My mom would be the worst person to call.
What do you do though? Like,
hey,
what?
Katie.
Oh, hey,
Katie. That there is some connection, either Bobby's or my theory. One of them. Something. Give us something, please.
No chemist.
The chemist is going to show up. I feel like she
already is. She a half alien with a big eye. She one of the ones who ain't make it.
She could have got plastic surgery at some point, right? And then just been the chemist.
True. Well,
they breaking my heart.
Well, I hope at least one of our theories come true this season. By this week, and I just hope it does, because if they fail us, I don't know.
You already know they are. I hate to be so negative, guys,
but I don't know. Like, I don't even know where I would rank double feature in my seasons. You know what I mean?
And we gotta do that too.
Yeah.
Or y'all gonna have to ready some of these seasons.
All right. So the plan is, if y'all down. Well, actually, let me ask y'all. Do y'all want to do the finale and then in that same video do our ranking, or do you want to do the ranking in a separate video? Because honestly, it depends on this finale is given. If it's really lackluster and there's not much to talk about, then we can literally talk about that shit for 30 minutes, and then the other 30 minutes we can just do our ranking.
That's what we did.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
The last finale was the shortest video.
They're not going to land the plane. I hate to be a pessimist, but there won't be much to talk about.
Yeah, I'm with you. Because there's barely much to talk. Like, if we didn't fill in with all of our extra shit that we just kind of go off into, we would literally be here for a good 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So
real quick, so that means, because Calico said she had 2 to 3 babies every year since 69. Yeah. So if they are killing all the ones that are not perfect, which I'm assuming they are, I'm trying to think how, because then they say 5,000 people a year at least.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 to 3 babies.
Bless you.
Do all that math. But over the course of 60 years, something like that. That's a lot of damn dead babies and shit. Like, I'm almost like, what the fuck?
I don't know.
How many is that? That's
that's a lot, a hell of a lot. Mm-hmm. And then y'all know what I found weird too? You see how they was watching on TV people being abducted?
Yeah.
Mm.
So what was the point of putting that in there? Because never in history have we seen any footage, because that looked like that was on the news or something. Or was that satellites that they was looking on?
Exactly. It's wasted. It was wasted. And they ran that for 5 minutes. Turn it off.
Yeah, so like they could have just left it to articles saying that people were missing, or just like a newscast saying that people were missing. Like, why put like shining lights beaming down people? That was so stupid.
On the spot. Got you, bitch. Got you. You on candy camera. Man.
You ain't know that.
You ain't know that.
That shit is a classic, man. That shit will always live on.
Why couldn't they mix the DNA outside of people? They don't
You know
know.
what I think it is? And I said this on episode, I think 1 of us talking about this. It might have been 2, I don't remember. But I think it's kind of cool. Like, I'll give them props for that. The idea that the aliens can be as advanced as they want to be, but that doesn't put them any closer to actually being God. And that's why they're having trouble recreating that magic of like creating life. Because obviously, like their species are in trouble. Like when their resources went out wherever they're coming from, it really put their whole situation in jeopardy. And they can't be God. Like I can suspend time, I can make a man get pregnant, I can do all this stuff, but I cannot recreate whatever that magical spark is that gives us life. And I really give them props for that because I believe that.
Omar said, by the way, you guys, there have been recent UFO sightings not too far from where I live. Tinley Park in Chicago had multiple sightings just last month. Ooh.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was going to the movies and I had seen something. It's like I was telling my boyfriend, like, oh shit, like that really looked like a UFO because I didn't, like he was like, oh, maybe that's a plane, but I swear to you, all I seen was a light and it was not moving like a plane. It was just kind of like hovering in the same spot. Like planes don't do that. And then like, my light turned, so I had to turn, so I couldn't really look at it. But I was like, that's probably was an alien.
Your boyfriend Adams is like, you doing this too much. You need to stop. Stop watching. Stop talking about this shit.
They literally could be doing this in plain sight.
Oh, let me tell you, he's the biggest like alien like. He can talk about that all day, like legit. The whole ancient alien things, he makes me watch that going to sleep.
Nice.
I won't be able to do that going to sleep now because I would legit have nightmares.
Listen, he'll fall asleep before me and I'll be scared. Like I'm scared. I'm turning this off.
The last thing that gave me nightmares was Silence of the Lambs. And I watched it so much that I was surprised, but it gave me a nightmare.
Omar, how do you know? I haven't seen a UFO. I don't want to see one.
So, all right, don't think that my grandma's crazy, but she told me that she seen an alien, y'all. And she could be very much crazy lady. So at first she told me that she had seen like some type of UFO outside her house. My aunt had took a picture or video or whatever she did of it, but it was blurry the whole time, so you couldn't really make out what it was. And then my grandma was like, no, like I seen something walking down my steps. Like she said something woke her up in the middle of the night. It walked down her steps, and she could see, like out her bedroom door. And she said it smiled at me. And I was like, well, before she said it smiled at her, she told me it had eyes but no mouth or like nose or nothing. And I'm like, well, how did it smile at you? And she goes telepathically. I was like, what?
I believe it.
And listen, she stands by that. Like, I'm like, I don't know, because my grandmom is a big pothead.
Come on, bro.
So it could either be that or she could be telling the truth. I don't know. She said she was like, it didn't give me no feeling that it wanted to hurt me.
Yeah.
But like it just was kind of like leaving my house and it smiled at me telepathically. And I'm like, well, how did you know? She just was like, I woke up with that feeling. Like, so like a part of me was like, damn, my grandma had UFO in her house. But then I'm like, she could be crazy, like a crazy old lady. So I don't know.
I think she's telling the truth. It's like, I believe when people say things like that because you see enough of those movies where they don't believe the kids or the older people or whatever, and all that shit be true. And then when something bad happens, that's when they want to believe in something. So
I believe it's crazy. Like if If I'm telling you, it's because I saw the shit.
Right.
Not because I'm making it up. So,
right.
Whew, I can't even. And I'm here by myself tonight. I can't believe you just told that story.
I know. That stuff scares me, guys. I told y'all the other episode that we did, I was like nervous. Like I need to turn all my lights on. I don't know what that's going to do, but
we're not supposed to talk about them. And the fact that we are so close.
Mm-hmm. And we're doing this on a big platform like YouTube. Not trying to get got. Chanise, my parents have
Omar.
That's good. No, they never changed this story after 20 years.
YouTube, listen, FBI gonna come to the house and say, I need all your YouTube footage.
No, I'll be like, it's Chanise. She go by 2-Star. We got Ryan Kenny. He go by Brother Ghoulish. We have Michael. He just started a podcast.
Gonna sell us out.
Look, they're gonna get.
I was just reviewing a show. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Right, get Ryan Murphy and them. We just talking about what they gave us.
They might be the aliens.
I mean, they just like rehashing a lot of theories. Go get the real people.
Right. Dodge Jordan is a fan of you, Chanise. He does my music on my YouTube channel, like the scary stuff in the background and stuff. Yeah, he's pretty dope. I love him. Shout out to the UK.
Hey.
Yes. I'm in the UK just for one day.
Another theory. So it doesn't make sense to me why like octopus and squid are on this planet, because to me my mind can't wrap around that. So and in this there's so I'm like, do we already have species of aliens on this damn planet, and we have accepted the fact that they belong here?
Yeah.
Omar said you guys would not surprise.
It's you.
If we were the four at the table pregnant, I guarantee that I would not survive.
Y'all,
especially if one of them came to me crying about this baby they thought they had a connection to.
Oh my God.
I would definitely give a calico. So take them about me. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm about to have a high ass bump it. My wig gonna be 6 inches off my head. It's some white boots. I'll be dancing like this in the corner and shit. Like I'm gonna be all right, baby.
I would survive because I would not be there.
Wait, no, we mean you won't be there. They'll get you.
Listen, okay, so we already know Michael won't be the one to keep trying to escape.
Absolutely.
Michael's always ready to run.
The moment we saw them cows is the moment we don't even need to pack anything. We can just leave. And we would have been taking our cell phones too. They did mention that little girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. I probably would be the one
crying about your connection. Oh shit.
I don't even believe that, to be honest.
No, because honestly, like I feel like because in my head I fight with like actually having a kid in real life, but also I don't really care about having kids. So I feel like if maybe I don't know if the alien actually did something around, or this is just their brain, because remember they kept saying that they wanted kids or whatever, and this was like their chance right there. But I don't know. Like I probably would feel like that too. So
Rosemary wanted her movie
because like Robert, this thing is not a thing. Like it's a thing.
Well, I wouldn't. I'll probably be crying. I'm not gonna be cutting shit out or whatever, but I will be crying. Like, but I'm not gonna be like the other dude that wanted. Like,
I would be crying because it's inside of me, and I probably would want you to just cut it out. I ain't even gonna hold you.
But then it's gonna come out with the tentacles and then grab your face.
Well, no, because I wouldn't hold it. I'll get you to hold it.
I was confused about what he wanted. He's like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. So you're not ready for them to take the baby, or were you not ready to have? So I'm like, why are we speeding this up? Because he felt like it was time.
Which one was saying he's not ready?
The one who gave birth this episode, He was like, I took time, and the guy was like, you want me to get somebody because they can give you something. He's like, I'm not ready, which I assume meant he doesn't want them to know.
Wait, say that again. I'm confused. The one with the blonde hair you talking about?
Yeah, the one that was giving birth.
Oh,
yeah.
He was saying he's not ready?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was the baby alien talking to him telepathically, saying that they're not ready.
They are connected.
They are connected. And
but
aliens, they could communicate like that through you. So
he was having contractions though, right?
Oh, he was contracting like hell.
But that baby was like, I'm not ready yet, bitch. And then when it came out the stomach, he like, I told you I'm not ready. Just got
why they got tentacles though? Why they gotta be
I can't with you going for the camera.
Wait, I need to send y'all this photo because I went to Korean barbecue when we had grilled octopus.
That shit is good.
Right? I didn't like it.
Oh yes, me neither.
Now listen, I like calamari, but I think that maybe because you know, when you go to a Korean barbecue place, you cook your stuff yourself. Like, what do I know about cooking the fucking octopus?
Cook it yourself, then you don't get a tip.
You never been to Korean barbecue?
Evidently not, because I wish I would say, oh, I'd like filet mignon tips and some red eye gravy with some everything.
You get all the food yourself, and you can bring it to your table.
So they like it's a grill in the middle of the table, and they basically bring you out all raw food.
I'm okay.
The beef.
If I wanted to cook, I'd be at home. Sorry, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
I was gonna say
a good experience.
It's good as fuck. The beef they have at Korean barbecue.
Yes, because I was getting the premium ribeye, and that joint was banging.
I'm about to be like, if I'm with y'all, if it's for 4 of us, like I'm gonna be like, okay, can y'all cook this for me then? I'm about to
I mean, I would cook it up.
It's not literally like you literally just leaving it there. You might flip it every once in a while. If you eat calamari, octopus, you eating aliens. I'm convinced. They don't belong here.
Now I'm thinking about it because when we was when they was on the grill, you know how they all slimy and stuff. And then they just started like standing up like shh.
Yup, because of that salt, baby. That get them to moving. Squids too. That motherfucker, he start moving.
I can't do anything with like I don't like calamari. I don't like anything that's I have to keep chewing. And I know people keep saying if it's cooked right, blah 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 blah, you don't have to worry about that. But no, I ate some cooked right calamari, and if I have to keep chewing, no.
Well, technically, you're supposed to chew a lot of times for freeze-thaw food.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I chew
but
times and I knock that bitch back.
That's too many extra times with calamari. I don't have to do all that.
I don't think it wasn't bad. It's just that I feel like maybe I shouldn't have been the one cooking it. That's all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I did hear a room. I don't know if it's an actual story or a rumor, but somebody ate, I think it was calamari. No, something happened while they ate it. And so eventually there was something growing in their mouth.
Oh, Lord.
Nope.
Why would you tell me that just the day after I done went and had some?
Well, it squirt in your mouth, you fine. But I think
why should he touch her?
I can't. I really
but that could be them trying to reproduce on this planet and be a hybrid. They trying to impregnate everybody by making them. Fish, I understand. Sharks, sure. Alligator, sure. Squid, octopus, no. They camouflage. Look. It doesn't make any sense. They can squeeze into things the size or like holes the size of a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And they're smart as fuck. That's the other thing. Very smart. That's all I'm gonna say.
Y'all play.
The thought that just crossed my mind.
What?
Oh no!
I mean,
all right, y'all. So we gave our expectations for the next episode, right?
I ain't got none.
You don't got none?
I think one of our theories is going to be correct. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm praying for y'all theories to be correct. That's all. I ain't got no expectations. It is what it is at this point.
Oh my God.
What do y'all want the next season to be about?
I don't even give two shits because they ain't gonna listen.
Give us some werewolves, like a werewolf season. You know,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want them. You know what? We love some werewolves, Michael. Like Ryan, Chanise. Like I love werewolves, but I want them to fuck it up, so I don't want them to do it because I'm gonna be even more angry, and that's when I will watch an American Horror Story. I promise you.
I would like to see. Like, I would like to see them do a whole like season on stuff that they had in episodes already that they did not like keep. So, like we said, like Warlocks, I would love to see a whole season on that. I would like to see a whole season with Twisty. Honestly,
yes.
Like they could just
We're not gonna get it though. We're not. They just ran Twisty to the dirt. Like at first, I was happy when they made him like a part of the comic book and cult, and then they brought him back in like American Horror Stories in a way. But
it was a wasted character. Like that.
Yeah,
that was a great fucking character. There,
so much potential.
It really was. And like I said, they could have did so much with him, y'all. I hate Freak Show, but because Twisty, like I really liked Twisty, and I don't really have a fear of clowns. I mean, well, not when I see him on TV anyway. Like if I seen a random clown in front of my face, maybe. But like I just thought that he was the horror of that season, and they took him away so soon.
It was.
Yeah.
Like I said, they could have even had him be a part of the Freak Show. Like, because he only wanted to make people laugh. That was his whole deal. Like, he wanted to be wanted. So that could have been his family. And he could have kind of been like the murderer of the family, Like, if people ain't going to pay, handle it. Like, oh, Twisty is out here. Like, they could have did something like that. But they just took my man and he went on with Ed. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Edward something.
Yeah, Edward Mordrake.
I'd be okay with a Killer Doll season or
Killer Doll, okay.
I kind of want them to expand on that whole national park from American Horror Stories. I would be okay seeing the whole season of that.
Oh, that wouldn't be bad. Or even the that driving episode, that wouldn't be bad either for a season.
Yeah. Omar said it would be cool if we got another ghost story. Like I love ghost stories, but like we got it with the first season Murder House. We got it with Hotel.
But if they did a ghost story, right, I wouldn't mind them touching on a major ghost story, like if they had a season based on something like Amityville Horror. Like that type of ghost story. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, you die here, you stay here, but just maybe like a demonic type of thing. Like I don't know if they just like
if they mix the elements of that what you just said and maybe the ball episode, like if they somehow bring ball into the equation, because I love me some demons. Don't get me wrong. I'm scared of them. But how they portrayed them on certain movies and how they did Ball and American Horror Stories, I think that would be dope if they gave us a full season of that. Not that particular story, but on like demons or whatever.
Right. Because even if it would have had something like where these people have moved into this thing and the statue was already in their house. You know what I mean? So now some shit happening and you're like, hold on.
Right.
Like if they just make a season out of that, like it could potentially be good.
It's leading up to Mermaids and Bigfoot. That's what season 9, 1984 was setting up. Look, we thought we were getting mermaids and fucking sirens, and they made it seem like it was like that in Red Tide, and we didn't get that shit.
They threw us off.
Yeah, another wasted opportunity right there.
Yep.
Fucking Red Tide. There was nothing red about that tide.
Random put something about, I forgot about this, when they kept making it seem like they needed permission from us to do all of these things, but they really could do it by. And she made the point to say that we need your signatures, so just in case you go back, if you renege, that we can let the American people know you signed the shit anyway. So we're gonna do it. So it's very calculated, everything that they're doing, almost as if they've gone through this before with another species.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right, well, before we go, because I don't know what else to talk about in this episode. What would y'all? All right, what would y'all want to see? I know you said werewolves, Michael, but I didn't get what you want, Ryan and Chanise. What you want to see next season?
I would like to see them come back to Coven again. I know that seems random since they just did it for Apocalypse.
It's surprising.
Yeah, like, because I feel like that's the only world that, because of some of the tools they have at their exposure, that they can kind of like dance in between,
go into other spaces,
start to pull things back. So I'd like to see that, like another Coven return, to be honest.
Well, that's what I said. I wouldn't mind for them to touch on things that they took out too soon. Like I was saying, like if they had a whole thing with the warlocks, like if it could be Coven, but this time it'd be the warlocks instead of the witches, you know, and then maybe the witches just to make a cameo or whatever the case, or you know, like something with Twisty, or even if they had one for the Antichrist, like I'm pretty sure there's so much more to like an Antichrist than what they showed us on Apocalypse, right. Which his whole, you know, thing was to basically get rid of the witches because they were strong. But I wouldn't mind, like, you know, Michael Langdon to come back.
Right. I want to see the real Supreme, Lady Gaga. She
yeah, but listen, they could have like the warlocks and have her, you know what I mean? Like
somehow tie into that.
Maybe she can come back to, you know, they little compound or whatever, and she be like, listen, like I'm the HBIC, I'm back.
That would be dope. Brooke said, I'm like Michael, I want to see werewolves and warlocks together in one season. That would be a wild ride. Ooh. That would be. But the thing is, I want American Horror Story to focus on one thing, because when they focus on multiple things, they usually do well on the other and fuck up the other one.
Yeah,
and then it's just like y'all need to just concentrate on one, because when y'all did that with Murder House, that was great. Like they focused just on the ghost situation, that was it. Asylum, they focused on the whole demonic thing going on there with the nurse. The aliens, again, it was on like 1 or 2 episodes, so it was really non-existent. But everything else, one story. Same thing with Coven, but then Freak Show, you got Twisty, but all of a sudden they switched it to Dandy. And then with Hotel, you got the vampires, but then you got the ghost portion, which was still a good season, but they're trying to juggle too many things, and it just doesn't make sense to me that they're doing that, because they fuck up usually. So I would love to see a werewolf and warlock together, but I don't want them to mess that up, because I love those two things.
Yeah, it would have to be like written really well.
It could be Resident Evil. What is that? 8 that just happened. It's some compound or village the warlocks work out of, but their main villains are werewolves or some shit. A tribal werewolf nearby.
Right. And they better not give us that CGI mess or whatever. But again, it's American Horror Story, so I just don't want to mess it up. You got to do werewolves right, people. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah, and I was listening on one of y'all podcasts. Listen, I've been like obsessed with podcasts now, so I've been listening to like a lot of. But one of y'all was talking about werewolves and how
cursed.
They usually make them like real like mangy and dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like, if they did do werewolves, I don't want them to make it like a typical werewolf. Like I would want it to be like a hot ass female, hot ass man. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Because they got a bad rep, because they always do vampires and they always make them look so glamorous and pretty, which is cool. But werewolves can look that way too. They don't always have to look rugged.
Right.
You know what I mean? They can throw us off and look like us. and look glamorous and pretty. And then when that full moon comes out, that's when them fangs come, and then bam.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or like how they did Twilight.
Oh no.
Why not? No, but I'm saying like that's like the whole like that's how they did. Like they had werewolves, but they didn't make the men look like they looked good prior to becoming a wolf.
I think it's the wolf transformation. I'm okay with, because I know werewolves means just turning into a wolf technically, but I don't like the four-legged werewolf thing. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah,
so
I like the hybrids. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they stand on their own 2 feet, but they still got that monstrous like look. Because, like, don't get me wrong, True Blood was cool, but then they transform into a literal wolf. Now I love wolves, but it's just I'm like, I want to see monstrous wolves. You know what I mean? So that Twilight shit, no. That True Blood stuff, no.
You ain't gotta beat me down like that.
Real quick, I do have a thing. So in my head, I think werewolves should be female and vampires should be male. And for some reason, because they're always connected, and I feel like the males should be vampires because they're a little more deceptive and, quite frankly, lazy and entitled. And the werewolves, we females, they can attract. They want to feel freedom and all this shit. So I think it'd be interesting to do something like that versus it just be, which doesn't really make sense. And I'm saying that loud, but
I get what you're saying.
Yes, Omar. I think the Underworld did.
Yo, the Howling, that's like one of the first werewolf movies I've seen. That shit was terrifying to me, especially that one werewolf transformation scene with Crazy Eddie. And the Underworld, same thing. Underworld got some dope ass lichens.
Yeah, Underworld is cool.
I love that.
Underworld is cool.
Yes. Well, hopefully if we get werewolves next season, that would be awesome. But I don't think that's going to happen. They're going to give us some bullshit. Or Ryan Murphy going to give us another poll and just like, oh, we're probably going to vote for werewolves.
I don't want to
vampires.
Cool. I don't want to pool because he told us we was getting sirens and shit. And we ain't even get it. We got aliens. Like, he can stop with the pool. Don't ask me what I want. Don't ask us what you want to see because you don't listen when we tell you. So it don't matter. Stop playing around with our heads.
Right. It's all about teasing us, man. It's just they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. They're like, oh, you want to see this shit? Well, we're going to give you the exact opposite. Well, I don't know. Well, what do you guys rate this episode?
I'm going to give it a 3.
Ooh. Out of 5?
Yeah, only because... Like I said, that modern part, or do you want to do like black and white and modern? Because the modern part is really cheesy to me. Like I'm just not with it. Like once they got captured by the FBI or whoever those people were, I just felt like it took a turn for the worse. Right.
Omar said, wait, hold on, Chanise. Omar said that Ryan have his hands on a lot of other projects. All right, that's cool and all. But then you also have the other executive producer, Brad Falchuk, who's been helping him out with this whole American Horror Story thing. How about you put that in his hands and maybe get brand new writers or something? Because the people that y'all got right now is just not working. But sorry, like I understand, approve things, but give it to Brad because he's been there with Ryan and. Make this be his like official project while Ryan Murphy do his like musicals and Netflix shit or whatever.
Right. And honestly, some of the episodes on Red Tide that were written by Brad and then like one other person were some of the better ones.
They were good. Exactly.
They were really
I'm happy you said that. I'm happy
because now since we've been doing these reviews, I'll be paying attention to the writers at the beginning of every.
You have to.
And I never used to do that. So thanks to you guys. Now I can curse out the proper person.
Yo. So Chanise, you said let's do it like that, the black and white and the present day.
All right, so the black and white, I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
I still like it. I mean, the only reason why I'm only going to give it a 4 is because I don't like that jumping part and it keep confusing me. Other than that, I like the black and white part, honestly. Like, I like how the alien portrays itself floating in the air, taking over in human form, things like that. I really like that. And for the modern day part, I'm going to give it a 3. Because, like I said, it just got really, really cheesy. I really didn't understand that whole connection thing after you was scared and spazzing just 2 minutes ago, like, literally. Because that was only like a couple minutes. Like, the new episode was just a couple minutes from the last episode. He was still on the table, and you throwing your pills around and all this stuff, and now you crying because they done took the thing out, and that's what you wanted initially. So he just got on my nerves so much that he convinced his boyfriend to let him go ahead and cut something out of him. Like, that was just like, all right, y'all doing too much. And I don't know. But the part, like I said, I do like is how they keep throwing like real life history in here. So it's a 3 for me.
Okay. Ryan.
3.
Well, which part?
Across the band. Because like, I kind of feel like the black and white is, no. The black and white is, like you said, Chanise, like a 4. It is. Because like there's something really powerful about that piece of it consistently throughout the season that the modern just can't seem to catch up with. And it feels like everything he's written up until this season has been more, like not black and white focused, not the campy, like sci-fi features of the 50s. So I wish that they would have just stayed with that. That'd have been a lot of fun.
By the way, he loves my flesh. Ryan, why you sound just like?
Because that part literally gave me so much life. Can this woman be defeated? Like, she just did Karen. Just did Karen.
Yeah.
That's yes. Sarah Paulson is like
the GOAT.
She really is.
Michael. I'm sorry. That shit is funny.
Modern a 2. Black and white. I think I would agree with the 4. What's funny to me is I feel like if they would have just, because they easily could have just kept it in the same time period and gave us 4 people back then going through the same shit. And somehow for me, it would have been more interesting than shooting to modern day.
Right.
You really don't need that until the finale if they're trying to do this 2021 thing.
Right.
Yeah, 2 and a 4.
Okay. I was expecting to hear a 2.37.
Yes. Oh my goodness. You know how
it was going to be 3.5 for one of them, but I was like, it was not that bad, so I'll go to 4.
Yeah. Okay. I give the black and white part. I'm being Michael today. I give it a 3.5. And then I give the present day part a 2, just because it's interesting, but I find the black and white part more interesting. I say that every week, so I feel like it's always going to be lower unless they just do some shit in day that is going to make one of my theories come true, and then I'll go back and then give all the present day ones a point higher.
Yeah.
Until then, it's going to be ranked lower than the first half. So,
do you think they did modern day because they think there are people who wouldn't watch if it was just in black and white and set in the 50s?
I don't think that they care. If no, in all honesty, I really don't think that that's something that they would even care about. Like, if they wanted to keep it black and white, then they would have. I think that maybe they did that so that it can connect more. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is modern day. Like, this can really be happening now. Like, I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to make a connection.
Yeah. Probably saying these things still happen in 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's it for our ratings of the season finale. Makes us like the season more, but I'm just still salty on Red Tide. I got spoiled. I think we all got spoiled with Red Tide because we enjoyed that season a lot. And this one is, like you said, you don't care to catch it on premiere night. Like I always wanted to watch Red Tide every time it came on, like on Wednesdays. But with the like, if I miss a day or two, I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll catch up. So, yeah, I feel the same as you guys. All right, well, we'll be back for the season finale. We're going to try to make this live reaction thing. Hey, Chanise, you work Wednesday night.
Yeah, I get off at 6 though. So.
Oh, okay. Ryan, will you be down to do a live reaction if we could somehow figure it out?
Yeah.
Okay, and Michael. Okay. So if we can figure this shit out, we'll be here live Wednesday, I guess 10 o'clock. Watching American Horror live.
I was gonna give an idea, like maybe we can still like have the live stream up, but just kind of mute the mic when the actual thing is going on, but when the commercials come, we unmute it like that. That way, because we're all in different places, the time that is going to be running, like some stuff is going to be off and some is not.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe we can do that so that we won't interfere with each other's, because it might, I mean, not saying it's going to be like delayed a lot, but it's usually like a minute, a couple seconds or whatever.
Yeah. And I feel like we can do that and also like chime in when we want, like when we kind of like what we do on, not on Clubhouse, Chanise, but it's like you can mute and unmute yourself when you want to say something.
Oh, okay.
Where we can kind of do that where it's not actually capturing the whole entire show. So I can't get in trouble on YouTube because it's not really picking up anything. It's only picking up our voice, but then we mute it when we're done. So we can do that. And that way we still give our live reaction. So everybody in the chat, catch up on American Horror Story if y'all down to watch with us live for our reactions to the season finale. This is gonna be a good time. I'm excited.
It is.
Ryan, wake up.
I'm coming dressed like a character.
Are you bringing back Karen?
No.
I think we need her. We would need her because Lord, she is missed.
I feel like none of these characters are even fun enough to dress up like.
They aren't. That's why I didn't even try.
Mammy Eisenhower. He's the only one though.
I used to have a dress that was kind of like that, 60s type thing, but I'm fat now, y'all. I can't fit that no more.
Well, we're only seeing like up here, neck and up. So, well, we gonna go because Ryan's about to fall asleep on us.
I don't know why I'm so tired today. Well, I know why, but it's a whole story.
Okay.
Juicy one.
I'll tell y'all after. I'll tell you after.
Juicy one.
Yeah, very juicy.
Oh man! All right, so we're gonna do it live. So Omar said they'll be there, so that's awesome. So random. I hope you show up. I'm not too sure what time zone you're in, but hopefully you'll be able to watch with us. Same thing with Art, if you're still here. Brooke, if you're still here.
Katie,
if you're still here.
You know who I didn't see in the chat today? What's his name?
Oh, Ted.
Ted, yeah.
Oh,
Ted, yeah. Ted usually pops up. Taymon, like he pops up every now and then, but he hasn't been popping up every episode. So, but I know he's a busy man.
Yeah. If Michael Myers in your house, they acting up.
That's not my dogs.
Whose dogs are those?
Oh, those, I don't know, some random dogs outside my window.
That is not my dog.
My next door neighbor has got the most annoying 2 raggedy ass dogs in my life because they bark at everything. They need to calm down.
That's my dogs. Watch it. because they brought
I mean, I
everything.
didn't say your dogs. I said my neighbors.
All right, y'all. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us this Sunday, taking the time out to watch American Horror Story with us. It was pretty dope, and we'll be here live Wednesday. This should be interesting. I'm excited for this. So, yeah,
it'll be a good time.
Yeah, it will be. I'll make sure I have drinks that time. Hopefully, I might need to be drunk for this one. Katie said she's still here. All right, Katie. Well, if you want to watch American Horror Story with us on Wednesday, that would be dope. Watch with us.
Yeah.
So it would be fun. Okay, y'all. Well, have a good night, and we'll see you Wednesday.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.